Thank you for staying with us. And now the newspaper reviews, and we're starting with The Nation. Major headline, INEC Chair Amuputan, I will confront poll logistics crisis. Court fixes Monday to hear suit on PDP convention. CNG attracts $1 billion investment. FCT Minister Wike throws jabs at Peter Obi. NMA, Nigerian Medical Association, Kanu's ailment not life-threatening. He's fit to stand trial. Senate steps down Electoral Act bill for wider consultation. NBA, police to jointly review tinted glass permit. Presidential clemency list still under review, says AGF. And Nigeria will surpass IMF's 3.9% growth forecast, says experts.
So NBA, the Nigerian Police Force, and the Nigerian Bar Association section on Public Interest and Development Law, that's NBA SPIDL, have agreed to review the tinted glass policy to make it align with public interest and national security objectives. The chairman of the NBA SPIDL, Professor Paul Anambra SAN, announced this while addressing reporters yesterday in Lagos on the activities lined up for the SPIDL 2025 conference. The NBA leader said the decision followed weeks of engagement between both parties after concerns were raised by Nigerians over the harassment of motorists whose vehicle windows were not completely transparent. He said the association intervened after several reports of indiscriminate arrests and impoundment of vehicles by police officers enforcing the tinted permit directive. Now, following their discussions with senior police officers, he says they agreed that enforcement of the tinted permit should be suspended while a joint review committee is constituted again. He said the committee would examine the legal and security implications of the policy and recommend new modalities for its regulation. And according to him, SPIDL's engagement with the police was not confrontational, but aimed at promoting accountability and justice in public administration. So we'll wait to hear what will come out from the committee's engagement on tinted permits.
There's more relief for those objecting to the amendment of the electoral law. The Senate committee chair on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Simon Lalong, he says that they'll be stepping down, the amendments and the repeal for wider consultation. He says that although they are looking at amending the electoral law to, to propose new innovations such as digital register of results, QR-coded voters' identification cards, stricter timeliness for party primaries and result transmission, and of course, the fear of the moving the elections to November to give room for all the appeals, so that by the swearing-in, appeals would have been concluded, so that somebody is not on an electoral tribunal while in office. So they said that they'll just be stemming it down to to give room for wider consultation. He now highlighted some of the problems. He said although the 2022 electoral law introduced some landmark reforms, but it posed significant weaknesses. Some of them included delayed release of election funds, disputes over the voter register, conflicting interpretation of result transmission, weak enforcement of electoral offences. And he says that the objective of this one, of course, is to deal with some of those lapses. But because of the clamor out there, it should be stepped down for a bit for wider consultation. I hope they're quick with these consultations and that every innovation is welcome, in our elections, and we'd like to see.
Okay, so I have the IMF gist. They said the economic and finance experts were unanimous that the Nigerian economy has entered a strong recovery phase, with the country's real GDP growth expected to exceed the upgraded projection of 3.9%. This was said by the IMF. That's the but they cited improvements in the country macroeconomic outlook. They said that the Nigerian stock market yesterday went up their capitalization of 94.17 trillion after investors opened up market orders in a scramble that added 389 billion in net capital gains. They also said that the market value of all quoted companies at the Nigerian exchange regains its bullishness on Wednesday on the back of the release of the IMF WEO. So they are saying that the director of the Africa, that's department at IMF, that's Abebe Salai, said the reforms in exchange rates and monetary policy tightening of the Central Bank of Nigeria played a significant role in the gradual drop of inflation rate. The inflation rate has dropped to 18.02% in September. Also, they said the National Bureau of Statistics, in its latest Consumer Price Index report, showed that headline inflation dropped by 210 basis points from 20.12%. So they are saying that the experts are saying that all indications for substantial growth in the period ahead are in favor of Nigeria, as the reforms have laid a strong foundation for sustained and accelerated growth. So
yeah, okay. Thank you. Let's look at the Punch. Major headline: under pressure, Tinubu may drop controversial names from pardon list. INEC to review lecturers' roles as Senate confirms Amupitan. Hajj, Saudi Arabia slashes Nigeria's camp slots to 67,000. Man burns ex-girlfriend inside Oyo barracks. Bandits kill 5 policemen, 3 guards in Zamfara. PDP crisis. Court freezes convention plans. Nigeria missing as IMF lists Africa's fastest growing economies. Oh, wow. Abure taunts OT-led LP faction over infighting. Military declares war on new terror group. Wulo Wulo. Wulo Wulo.
Wulo Wulo.
Oh, Wulo Wulo. Okay.
Woo woo.
Please,
let me
your
take
serious caps on. This is
We're serious.
I want to take the so his congratulations are in order for the new INEC chair, Professor Joash Amokuto, who was screened and confirmed yesterday by the Senate. He was screened for 3 hours. Question, But the professor of law was confirmed to now replace Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. And during the session, the senators were quick to say that, lecturers, academics being appointed as INEC chair and the returning officers did not do any difference, questioning the credibility. They used the case of Professor Ignatius Uduku, the one from Akwa Ibom, where
things happen.
that is 3-year term now. So they cited a lot of that, saying, and he promised, he said that they will review the rules of this, that being a professor does not make anybody a saint or perfect. So he, as the new chair, he cannot guarantee anything until while he's in office. He would review that rule and the entire process and ensure that those who handle election results are not only competent but credible going forward. He gave that assurance. And of course, quickly, APC jumped on it, PDP jumped on it, New Nigerian People's Party jumped on it, throwing their weight behind this proposal, the proposal by the new chair to review the rules of university lecturers in the election management.
If they don't use lecturers, who would they use? I'm just thinking.
Can use technocrats from corporates.
Oh, wow.
But then they can say they have accounts.
And they have interest. Anyway, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll continue looking at the papers. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still reviewing the top stories.
Yes, I have the human interest story. So the Oyo State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of a man, Lawal Farouk, who allegedly set fire to his ex-lover after their relationship went sour. So according to Punch Metro, it said that happened on Thursday at a military barrack in Ibadan, the state capital. It says a counterinsurgency expert, Zagazola Makama, was the one who shared the details of the incident on X, and he disclosed that the suspect claimed he and the victim had taken an oath never to separate. However, the suspect was said to have become enraged after the romantic relationship between the two of them broke down. Now, he got upset by the situation and allegedly doused the victim with petrol before setting her ablaze. Now, following the incident, the military personnel at the barracks reportedly rescued the victim and rushed her to a hospital before arresting the suspect. And according to Makama, he said the victim, Omolola Hassan, was reportedly doused with petrol and set on fire by the suspect, who was said to have been angered over the breakdown of the relationship. Now, eyewitnesses in the barrack quickly intervened and they were able to extinguish the fire before rushing the victim to Yawiri Hospital, Akobo, for medical treatment. Then they went ahead to talk about other places where this has happened. So there's a breakdown of relationship and you are dousing your partner with fire. One happened in Port Harcourt, one happened somewhere else. And this this is a lot for everyone right
You
now.
need to be checking people's
Mental health.
states of their mind.
Okay,
Do you have any?
Yes, I do. I have the bandits gist. They said the bandits have killed 5 policemen and 3 community protection guards during a patrol along the Gusau-Funtua Road in Safi local government area of Zamfara State. They said that, according to an eyewitness, he said that the bandits who were hiding in the bush suddenly opened fire on the patrol vehicle, killing all 8 occupants on the spot. He said the affected security men were working at the government house, Gusau, and had been sent on special duty to provide protection for travelers along the Gusau-Funtua Road because of persistent attacks by bandits. But unfortunately, minutes after they left, they opened fire on them, and he's saying that that the remains of the deceased were later taken to the Federal Medical Center, Gusau, and the governor has come out to say that he has expressed his grief and extended condolences to the family of the people who were involved.
Soldiers.
This is what we always do every time we come, we offer condolences.
Yeah, let's look at the Daily Sun. Major headline, INEC chair to Nigerians, I will restore confidence. Pledges to audit IREF's glitch in 2023. Senate confirms new commission's boss. NEC approves 28 billion naira to close 7 million metering gap. Wike blasts Obi over criticism of FCT schools, questions his leadership record. Reps hold valedictory session for late ex-speaker Anakwe. PDP convention. Court reaffirms order directing feuding members to stay action. Electoral Act amendment. Senate steps down bill over ambiguous provisions. Nnamdi Kanu is medically fit to stand trial. Ailment not life-threatening, NMA tells court. What do we have?
So NEC has approved a second tranche of 28 billion to, of course, provide the metering for consumers. So they had initially done the first tranche of 21 billion, which was approved for the procurement and installation of meters across the 11 discos, and now they've done the second phase of 28 billion map. That's the metering. I forgot what it meant. Well, according to the chairman, Musliu Hussaini, and Commissioner for Legal and Licensing Compliance, the other procurement outlines operationalization of Tranche B of the metering acquisition funds as metering acquisition program. So according to the commission of this Tranche B, Ikeja Disco is getting the highest allocation. So people under Ikeja Disco, ask them for your meter that you have already paid for, because now they have the new empowerment. They've been enabled to meter up. The Eco Disco, of course, gets 4.6 billion of the money, and Ibadan Disco gets 4.26, and then in that order, the money continues to reduce across all the discos across the nation. And read the Sun for more details.
Okay, let's quickly go on to the Vanguard. Major headline, INEC in my time, losers will congratulate winners, says Amopita. Users' rapid data depletion threatens telecom sector growth. Rivers revokes 134 billion naira contract awarded by IBA's orders refund. 2027, APC moles have taken over INC, scribe cries out. Why we've not released inmates pardoned by Tinubu, AGF. Suicide takes center stage at Vanguard's third mental health summit holds today. Presidential pardon, Macaulay shouldn't have been lumped with ex-convicts, this according to the family. And National Grid loses 4,091 megawatts per hour in September. Let me take the presidential pardon. So the Haba Macaulay family of Lagos yesterday broke their silence over the pardon granted by the president to their patriarch, saying that the clemency should not have been lumped with drug barons, ex-convicts and murderers. The family also urged the federal government to restore the legacy of the first nationalist who was unjustly convicted for his political activism in the country. They said the family was led by former national chairman of the PDP, Olabode George. As we know, he's the great-grandnephew of the nationalists. And then he was also there with a lot of other family members. Just go to something I found. So they said, so according to George, Macaulay in his time was vilified by colonial press, labeled a troublemaker, even imprisoned, but history has vindicated him. integrity, after all, is not about popularity. It is about principle. They said that he did not live to see independence, but he built the road towards it. We who are beneficiaries of his struggle have a duty to continue building to expand freedom beyond politics into economics, education, and social justice. There was something, okay, they're asking for. They also said that they're urging the federal government to rebuild Macaulay's house at Marina, which was demolished by colonists to build a general post office building on Marina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So in addition to that, because it's linked to the story I took, they said there are indications on Thursday that some names on the presidential pardon list approved by the Council of State as presented by the Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, may be dropped. The development comes amid growing public outcry over the inclusion of certain high-profile and violent offenders among those pardoned by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The presidential pardon, usually granted to mark national occasions, was also meant to decongest prisons and promote reconciliation. Now, the presidential statement noted that the decision followed recommendations by the Presidential Advisory Committee on the prerogative of mercy, chaired by Attorney General, and he added that lists of the beneficiaries were divided into 6 categories: those granted pardon, posthumous pardon, including the Ogoni 9, victims of the Ogoni 9 honored, presidential clemency, inmates recommended for reduced terms of imprisonment, and inmates on death row whose sentences were commuted to life imprisonment. Now, however, the latest episode reignited debate, we also talked about it on the show, over the transparency and integrity of Nigeria's pardon process. And they're saying that they will still have, there's enough time to still review, they're still reviewing the list. That's why they've not released them. So anything can happen. Some people may be called back, some people may not be released, depending on the public. So
that will be tough. But thank you, ladies, and that's all we can take from the papers this morning. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll look at our hot topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.